I'm so glad you found your way here. Your body is healing itself right now, repairing damage while you simply exist. Tonight, you'll discover why dreams vanish like morning mist and understand the hidden wisdom in forgetting. By the end, you'll know why your sleeping mind protects you through selective amnesia. Welcome to Psychology for Sleep. Now settle in. You're in your safe space, while your brain quietly repairs itself, clearing toxins, preparing for tomorrow. Allow yourself this moment of peace. We'll journey through 100 psychology facts about dream forgetting, from the moment you open your eyes and memories dissolve, to the chemistry that erases nighttime stories, to the beautiful reason your mind lets dreams slip away into darkness. This thoughtful journey through consciousness builds bridges between searching minds. Your gentle support, a like, subscribe, or a quiet share, creates a pathway for more dream seekers to discover and brings us closer to protect this sanctuary for every tired mind who finds their way here. One peaceful night, one sleepy soul at a time. Let yourself settle completely here. Feel your jaw unclench, your breath deepen naturally. You can let these thoughts drift past without holding them. Sense that soothing heaviness enveloping you, like your consciousness slowly dimming its brightness. Thoughts dissolving into the peaceful fog of approaching sleep, safe and undisturbed. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. You're floating where memories rest safely in gentle darkness. Let your mind merge with infinite peace. And now we begin. Most dreams disappear within seconds of waking. Research from the Lyon Neuroscience Research Center in 2024 confirms that up to 95% of dream content vanishes within 5 to 10 minutes after you open your eyes. This isn't a flaw in your memory system. It's a carefully designed feature of how your brain manages information. During sleep, your mind creates vivid experiences, complete with emotions, narratives, and sensory details that feel absolutely real in the moment. Characters speak, environments shift, and you navigate impossible situations with perfect acceptance. Yet the moment consciousness returns, these elaborate constructions dissolve like salt in water. The forgetting happens so quickly and so completely that many people believe they simply don't dream at all, when in reality they experience 4 to 6 dream cycles every single night. Your sleeping mind is extraordinarily creative. Your waking mind is extraordinarily forgetful. Everyone dreams, even those who claim they never do. Sleep studies using polysomnography, machines that monitor brain waves, eye movements, and muscle activity, reveal that all humans cycle through REM sleep multiple times each night. And REM sleep is when the most vivid, story-like dreams occur. When researchers wake participants during REM periods, they report dreams roughly 80 to 90% of the time. The difference between people who never dream and those who remember dreams every morning isn't whether dreaming happens. It's whether the memory of dreaming transfers from sleeping consciousness to waking awareness. Your brain doesn't fail to create dreams. It fails to save them. Or perhaps more accurately, it chooses not to save them. This distinction matters because it reveals something profound about how your mind decides what deserves to be remembered and what can safely fade away into the darkness. Dreams occur primarily during REM sleep, though they can happen in other stages too. REM stands for rapid eye movement. named for the characteristic darting of eyes beneath closed lids that occurs during this phase. Your brain becomes almost as active during REM sleep as it is when you're fully awake, sometimes even more active in certain regions. The visual cortex and limbic system can become even more active during REM than during waking hours, while the prefrontal cortex, which handles logic and self-awareness, dims significantly. This creates the perfect conditions for dream experiences, vivid imagery, intense feelings, and a complete lack of critical thinking that lets you accept impossible scenarios without question. You might fly, breathe underwater, or speak with people who've been gone for years, and none of it seems strange until you wake. The dreaming brain operates by different rules than the waking brain. Your first REM period of the night lasts only about 10 minutes. As the night progresses, each REM cycle grows longer. By morning, you might spend 30 to 40 minutes in a single REM period, experiencing extended dream narratives with complex plots and emotional arcs. This pattern explains why the dreams you're most likely to remember occur just before waking. They're not only the longest and most elaborate, but they're also the closest to consciousness. The dreams from early night, those brief 10-minute stories, dissolve completely because hours of deep sleep separate them from waking awareness. Your brain moves through multiple memory consolidation processes between those early dreams and morning. And in doing so, it actively chooses to discard most dream content. Only the final act survives. If anything survives at all, memory formation requires specific brain chemistry that's largely absent during REM sleep. The neurotransmitter noradrenaline, also called norepinephrine, plays a crucial role in encoding new memories. During REM sleep, noradrenaline levels drop to nearly zero, the lowest levels they'll reach in any 24-hour period. A 2024 study published in the journal Science demonstrated that this dramatic reduction in noradrenaline essentially shuts down the brain's ability to transfer information from short-term to long-term memory. Without noradrenaline, the dreams you experience remain trapped in immediate awareness, never getting encoded into retrievable memory. The moment REM sleep ends and noradrenaline returns, those unencoded experiences simply cease to exist in any recoverable form. Your brain chemistry actively prevents dream memories from being stored, not by accident, but by evolutionary design. The hippocampus, your brain's memory formation center, operates differently during sleep than during waking hours. While you're awake, the hippocampus constantly records new experiences, tagging them for storage and integration with existing memories. During REM sleep, the hippocampus becomes relatively quiet, especially in its communication with other brain regions. Research from 2024 shows that the neural pathways that normally shuttle information from the hippocampus to the neocortex, where long-term memories are stored, are significantly dampened during dreaming. This communication breakdown means that even though you're having rich experiences during dreams, those experiences aren't being processed through the normal channels that create lasting memories. The hippocampus is present but not recording. It's as if someone turned off the save function on your brain's hard drive. Brain waves during REM sleep resemble waking consciousness in many ways. Both states show similar patterns of electrical activity, with rapid, low-amplitude waves indicating high levels of neural activation. Yet despite this surface similarity, the internal experience couldn't be more different. During waking hours, your brain maintains constant communication between regions, creating a coherent sense of self and environment. During REM sleep, this communication becomes fragmented. Different brain areas activate independently, creating the bizarre, disconnected quality of dreams where scenes shift without transition. Logic disappears, and impossible things happen without surprise. The similarity in brain waves is deceptive. Under the surface, the dreaming brain is fundamentally reorganized, operating in a mode that prioritizes experience over retention, feeling over recording. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for critical thinking, self-awareness, and working memory, shows dramatically reduced activity during REM sleep. This region sits just behind your forehead and normally acts as your brain's executive control center, helping you make decisions, plan ahead, and monitor your own thoughts. When it goes offline during dreams, you lose the ability to recognize that what you're experiencing isn't real. You also lose the ability to actively try to remember what's happening. Without the prefrontal cortex fully engaged, you can't tell yourself, "I should remember this," or deliberately rehearse information to commit it to memory. The very brain region that would normally help you form intentional memories is temporarily unavailable. The transition from sleep to waking creates a biological amnesia barrier. As you emerge from REM sleep, your brain undergoes rapid chemical changes. Noradrenaline floods back into the system. Cortisol levels rise to promote alertness, and the prefrontal cortex reboots its executive functions. This neurochemical shift happens within seconds, and it's so dramatic that it essentially reboots your brain into a different operating mode. Any memories that weren't already encoded, which includes most dream content, get swept away in this transition. It's similar to turning off a computer without saving your work. The file isn't corrupted or hidden. It simply never existed in a saved form. The awakening process itself erases dreams. So yes, you're already beginning to understand why dreams vanish so quickly. The architecture of sleep itself, the brain chemistry, the neural activity patterns, the communication breakdowns between memory centers, creates a system where dreams are meant to be experienced but not remembered. This isn't failure, it's design. Your sleeping mind generates rich experiences, explores possibilities, and processes emotions without the burden of creating permanent records of every bizarre scenario it invents. The forgetting is built into the system at multiple levels: chemical, structural, and functional. By the time you're 10 facts into this journey, the first truth is emerging. Dreams disappear because your brain deliberately lets them go. Working memory has extremely limited capacity during dreams. Working memory is your brain's temporary holding space, the mental scratch pad where you keep information active while you use it. During waking hours, you might use working memory to hold a phone number while you dial it, or remember the beginning of a sentence while you hear the end. Research shows that working memory capacity drops significantly during REM sleep. A 2023 study from the Max Planck Institute demonstrated that people can typically hold only 1 or 2 elements in working memory while dreaming, compared to 5 to 9 elements while awake. This means that even as you experience one dream scene, you're already forgetting the previous scene. Dreams erase themselves in real time. Dream narratives rarely follow logical progression, which makes them harder to remember. Human memory works best with coherent stories that follow cause and effect. You can easily remember a movie plot because one scene leads logically to the next. Dreams don't work this way. You might be in a childhood home, then suddenly at work, then talking to someone who's somehow both your friend and a stranger. These discontinuities violate the organizational principles your memory system uses to file and retrieve information. When you wake up and try to recall a dream, your brain struggles to find the narrative hooks it normally uses for memory retrieval. The disconnected nature of dreams makes them inherently difficult to encode and even harder to recall later. Emotional intensity affects dream recall more than visual detail. You're more likely to remember a dream where you felt intense fear, joy, or sadness than a dream with elaborate visual scenes but muted emotions. This happens because emotional memories get processed through the amygdala, your brain's emotional center, which remains active during REM sleep, even when other memory systems are offline. A 2024 study showed that people who woke from dreams with strong emotional content could recall those dreams 60% more often than dreams with neutral emotional tone. The feeling of the dream lingers longer than the details. Sometimes all that remains is an emotional residue, a sense of unease or happiness without any memory of why. The longer you sleep after a dream, the less likely you are to remember it. Each additional sleep cycle that follows a dream period acts like another layer of sediment burying a memory. Your brain continues to process information throughout the night, consolidating important memories from the previous day while discarding irrelevant details. Dreams fall into the irrelevant category for most of this consolidation process. Studies tracking dream recall across the night show that dreams from the first third of sleep are almost never remembered, while dreams from the final REM period before waking have the highest recall rates. Time and additional sleep cycles actively erase dream memories. Your brain uses sleep to decide what's worth keeping. During non-REM sleep stages, particularly slow-wave sleep, your brain replays important memories from the day, strengthening the neural connections that encode them. This process, called memory consolidation, helps you retain useful information while clearing out trivial details. Dreams don't typically get replayed during this consolidation process. A 2024 study using fMRI imaging showed that the neural patterns associated with dream content rarely appear during subsequent slow-wave sleep, suggesting that the brain actively excludes dreams from the memories it chooses to strengthen and preserve. Your sleeping mind makes constant decisions about what deserves long-term storage. Dreams, for the most part, don't make the cut. Waking up suddenly improves dream recall dramatically. When you wake naturally, gradually transitioning through lighter sleep stages, dreams have more time to fade before you reach full consciousness. But when an alarm jars you awake directly from REM sleep, the dream is still active in your mind, and you have a brief window, usually less than a minute, to capture it before it dissolves. This explains why you might remember vivid dreams on weekends, when alarms wake you but have no dream recall on days when you wake naturally. The abrupt transition from sleep to waking preserves dream content that would otherwise disappear in the gentle glide toward consciousness. Disruption helps memory. In this unusual case, dream content often includes familiar elements recombined in strange ways. You might see your current house with rooms from childhood homes, or have conversations with people whose faces shift between different individuals. This recombination happens because dreaming draws on existing memories stored in your neocortex, the outer layer of your brain where long-term memories live. During REM sleep, activation spreads somewhat randomly through these memory networks, pulling up fragments and associations that get woven into dream narratives. The problem for memory is that these recombined elements don't have clear origins. When you wake up, your brain can't tell what was genuine memory recall versus what was new creation. The boundaries blur, making dreams hard to grasp. Language processing during dreams differs from waking language use. While you can have conversations in dreams that seem fluid and meaningful, research shows that the language centers in your brain operate at reduced capacity during REM sleep. The Broca's area and Wernicke's area, regions crucial for speech production and comprehension, show less coordinated activity during dreaming than during waking thought. This means that the words spoken in dreams, while they feel significant in the moment, often lack the precise meaning and logical structure that would make them memorable. Upon waking, you might remember that someone said something important in your dream, but the actual words themselves slip away because they were never fully formed. The bizarreness of dreams actually contributes to forgetting them. While you might think that weird or shocking dream content would be easier to remember, the opposite is often true. Your memory system is optimized for encoding information that fits with your existing understanding of how the world works. When dreams present impossible scenarios, flying without effort, breathing underwater, or meeting deceased relatives who are somehow alive again, your waking mind has no framework for storing these experiences. They don't fit into any existing category of memory. Research from 2023 showed that people recalled mundane, realistic dreams more accurately than highly bizarre dreams, possibly because realistic dreams can be processed as if they were actual experiences worth keeping. Dream forgetting serves a protective function for mental health. Imagine if you remembered every dream with the same clarity as waking experiences. You'd carry memories of countless disturbing scenarios, bizarre interactions, and emotionally intense situations that never actually happened. Your sense of what's real would become confused. A 2024 study suggested that dream amnesia helps maintain the boundary between imagination and reality, allowing your brain to explore dangerous, impossible, or emotionally challenging scenarios during sleep without those explorations contaminating your waking understanding of the world. Forgetting dreams isn't a bug in the system. It's a crucial feature that preserves your ability to distinguish between events that actually occurred and events your sleeping mind invented. Stress hormones affect dream recall in complex ways. Cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone, follows a daily rhythm, dropping to low levels during early sleep and rising toward morning. When cortisol surges too early, often due to stress or anxiety disorders, it can fragment sleep and actually improve dream recall by causing brief awakenings during or immediately after REM periods. However, chronic stress impairs overall memory function, including dream memory. So while acute stress might help you remember more dreams in the short term, long-term stress typically reduces dream recall. Your body's stress response system has paradoxical effects on whether dreams survive the transition to waking consciousness. Age changes how well you remember dreams. Children and teenagers typically report more frequent and vivid dream recall than adults. This likely relates to differences in sleep architecture. Young people spend more time in REM sleep and have more intense REM periods. As you age, REM sleep becomes lighter and shorter, and the neurochemical changes that erase dreams become more efficient. By late adulthood, many people rarely remember dreams at all unless they wake directly from REM sleep. This decline in dream recall parallels other age-related memory changes. Your capacity to form and retain new memories, whether from waking or sleeping experiences, gradually diminishes across the lifespan. The act of recalling a dream changes the memory of it. This phenomenon, called memory reconsolidation, affects all types of memories, but it's especially relevant for dreams. Each time you retrieve a memory, you don't simply access a stored file. You reconstruct the memory from fragments, and in doing so, you can inadvertently modify it. With dreams, which are already fragile and poorly encoded, this reconstruction process often introduces errors. You might add details from other dreams, incorporate waking thoughts or assumptions, or reorganize the sequence of events to make more logical sense. By the time you tell someone about your dream, what you're describing might be significantly different from what you actually experienced while sleeping. Writing down dreams immediately upon waking dramatically improves retention. When you keep a dream journal and record dreams within the first minute or two of waking, you can capture details that would otherwise vanish within 5 minutes. This practice works because it uses your working memory while dream content is still active, transferring information into written form before the neurochemical changes of waking fully take effect. Studies of dedicated dream journalists show that with consistent practice, people can train themselves to remember more dreams over time, possibly by strengthening the neural pathways involved in moving dream content from short-term to long-term memory. The simple act of writing creates an external memory that your brain alone cannot maintain. So we're beginning to see a pattern emerge. Dreams vanish not because your memory is weak, but because your brain has carefully designed systems to ensure they don't persist. The chemistry is wrong for encoding. The neural architecture prevents transfer to long-term storage. The content itself, bizarre, disconnected, emotionally intense, resists the organizational structures your memory uses. And perhaps most importantly, the very transition from sleeping to waking acts as a reset button that clears temporary experiences your brain has deemed unworthy of preservation. You forget dreams immediately because your sleeping mind never intended for you to remember them in the first place. The question isn't why you forget. It's why you remember anything at all. Let's pause here and notice your body. As you breathe out slowly, appreciate each tiny cell inside. Trillions of organisms working in silence. Heart beating, lungs breathing, brain thinking, all without your command. Notice the gentle sensations on your skin, in your muscles, along your spine. You are a complete ecosystem, diverse, self-balancing. Even now, as you rest here, your body knows how to let go. Your breath deepens on its own. Your heartbeat slows without effort. Every system inside you understands rest in ways your conscious mind is still learning. Trust your body. It remembers how to sleep, even when your mind forgets how to dream. Now we continue. Noradrenaline isn't just low during REM sleep. It's virtually absent. This neurotransmitter, also called norepinephrine, plays multiple crucial roles in your brain. It promotes alertness, helps you focus attention, and most importantly for our discussion, it's essential for encoding new memories. During waking hours, Noradrenaline release accompanies every experience worth remembering. It essentially tells your brain, "This matters. Save this." During REM sleep, the neurons that produce noradrenaline in the locus coeruleus, a small structure in your brainstem, completely shut down. They're the only neurons in your brain that stop firing during REM. This creates what neuroscientists call a permissive state for dreaming. Your mind can create without creating permanent records. The absence of noradrenaline is why dreams feel real in the moment but vanish like smoke. The discovery of noradrenaline's role in dream amnesia is relatively recent. For decades, scientists knew that dreams were forgotten, but they didn't fully understand the mechanism. Research published between 2019 and 2024 finally identified the connection. When researchers artificially increased noradrenaline levels in sleeping mice during REM periods, the mice showed signs of forming lasting memories of their dreamlike experiences. Conversely, blocking noradrenaline in waking mice made them unable to form new memories, even though they were fully alert. This demonstrated that noradrenaline acts as a molecular switch: present equals remember, absent equals forget. Your brain uses this switch every night to separate valuable waking experiences from disposable dream content. Acetylcholine, another neurotransmitter, floods your brain during REM sleep. While noradrenaline disappears, acetylcholine levels surge to concentrations higher than during waking. Acetylcholine promotes neural activation and helps generate the vivid, hallucinatory quality of dreams. It stimulates the visual cortex, the limbic system, and other regions responsible for creating dream imagery and emotion. But here's the crucial part. Acetylcholine without noradrenaline creates experience without encoding. It's like having a movie playing on a screen with no recording device. The images move. The story unfolds. Emotions rise and fall. But nothing gets saved. The balance of these two neurotransmitters determines whether your brain files experiences as memories or lets them evaporate into the chemical night. Serotonin levels also drop significantly during REM sleep. Serotonin helps regulate mood, but it also plays a role in memory consolidation and logical thinking. With reduced serotonin during dreams, your mind loses its ability to organize thoughts sequentially and apply reason to what you're experiencing. This contributes to the bizarre acceptance you feel during dreams. You don't question why you can suddenly fly, or why your childhood friend has transformed into someone else. The chemical absence of serotonin removes the questioning, organizing function of consciousness. Without it, you can't build the logical frameworks that help encode memories in organized, retrievable ways. Dream content lacks the structure that makes memories stick. Your brain's default mode network behaves differently during REM sleep. This network of connected brain regions typically activates when you're awake but not focused on the outside world. When you're daydreaming, reminiscing, or imagining the future. During REM sleep, parts of the default mode network activate, which explains why dreams often feel like you're remembering past experiences or constructing possible futures. However, the network doesn't maintain the same coherent connectivity it has during waking. Different regions activate independently, creating the fragmented, loosely associated quality of dreams. This disconnection within the default mode network prevents dreams from being organized into the coherent narratives that your memory system prefers. The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive function, logical reasoning, and working memory, shows minimal activity during REM sleep. PET scans and fMRI studies consistently show this region going almost completely dark during dreaming. This deactivation has profound consequences for memory. The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex normally helps you consciously decide what to remember, rehearse information to strengthen memories, and organize new experiences into meaningful categories. Without it online, you lose all voluntary control over memory formation. You can't think "I should remember this" because the part of your brain that has such thoughts is temporarily unavailable. Dreams unfold through you, rather than being actively experienced by a remembering self. The hippocampus shows paradoxical activity during REM sleep. While it's less active overall and less communicative with other regions, certain hippocampal cells, called place cells, fire actively during dreams. In rodent studies, researchers can actually decode where a rat is dreaming of moving based on place cell activity. This suggests that the hippocampus is participating in dream creation, helping generate the spatial environments and scenarios you experience. But it's not performing its other crucial function of encoding those experiences into lasting memories. It's in playback mode rather than record mode. The hippocampus helps create dreams but refuses to save them. This division of labor explains the strange persistence of space in dreams, despite memory's absence. Brain connectivity patterns during REM sleep resemble certain psychedelic states. Researchers comparing brain scans of people in REM sleep with those of people under the influence of substances like psilocybin or LSD found striking similarities. In both states, regions that don't normally communicate begin exchanging signals, while regions that usually work closely together become less coordinated. This creates the strange, surreal quality of both dreams and psychedelic experiences. It also creates the same memory problem when the brain's normal organizational structures break down. Experiences become harder to encode and retrieve. The beauty and terror of dreams come from the same source as their forgettability. A brain reorganized into a stranger. Loser configuration. Theta waves dominate the hippocampus during REM sleep. These slow, rhythmic brain waves are associated with memory processing. But in a specific way, they help determine which memories get consolidated and which get pruned away. During REM sleep, theta rhythms in the hippocampus coordinate with sharp wave ripples, brief bursts of neural activity that replay important memories from the previous day. Dreams don't generate these ripples. They create a different pattern of activity that the hippocampus treats as noise rather than signal. Your brain essentially filters dreams out of the consolidation process, treating them as interference rather than information worth preserving for tomorrow. The amygdala remains highly active during REM sleep, which explains the emotional intensity of dreams. This almond-shaped structure deep in your brain processes fear, anxiety, joy, and other emotions. During dreams, it can activate as strongly as it does during waking emotional experiences. This creates a curious situation. You feel emotions intensely during dreams, and emotional activation normally helps encode memories. Yet dream memories still disappear. A 2023 study showed that the amygdala's emotional signals during REM sleep don't properly connect with memory encoding regions. The emotions fire, but don't trigger the broader neural response needed to save associated memories. You feel everything in the moment, then carry only a faint emotional echo into waking life. Sleep spindles, Brief bursts of brain activity during non-REM sleep play a crucial role in protecting memories from interference. When your brain generates these spindles, it's essentially putting memories into more permanent storage, where they won't be disrupted. Dreams don't get this protection. They occur during REM sleep, which has very few sleep spindles. Without spindle activity to stabilize them, dream memories remain vulnerable. The subsequent non-REM periods, with their spindle-protected memory consolidation of waking experiences, effectively overwrite the unprotected dream content. It's like saving one file on top of another. The newer, spindle-protected memories from your day replace the older, unprotected memories from your dreams. Temperature regulation affects dream recall in subtle ways. Your body temperature drops during sleep, reaching its lowest point in the early morning hours. This cooling affects brain chemistry and electrical activity. Research suggests that the temperature drop may contribute to memory impairment during REM sleep by slowing certain molecular processes needed for memory encoding. Your brain is literally cooler when you dream, and this cooling may be part of why dreams don't stick. When you wake and your body temperature rises again, the molecular machinery for creating lasting memories starts working properly. But by then, the dreams have already begun to fade, lost to the cooler hours of night. Glial cells, the support cells in your brain, also behave differently during sleep. These cells aren't neurons, but they perform crucial functions including clearing waste products and supporting neuron communication. During sleep, glial cells open channels that flush out metabolic debris accumulated during the day. This cleaning process may inadvertently clear away some of the fragile neural patterns associated with dream memories. It's like a cleaning crew that doesn't distinguish between trash and treasure. The same systems that remove toxic proteins and waste products also sweep away the delicate traces of dream experiences before they can be consolidated into lasting memories. Genetic factors influence how well people remember dreams. Twin studies show that dream recall frequency is partly heritable, suggesting specific genes affect the brain systems responsible for dream memory. Some people naturally produce different levels of neurotransmitters during sleep, have variations in hippocampal connectivity, or show different patterns of REM sleep electrical activity. These genetic differences explain why some people consistently remember multiple dreams per night, while others rarely recall any dreams at all. Even though both groups are dreaming with equal frequency, your DNA influences the efficiency of the amnesia mechanisms that erase dreams. For some people, the forgetting is nearly total. For others, memories slip through the cracks more easily. So the biological evidence is overwhelming. Your brain chemistry during REM sleep creates a perfect storm for memory failure. Noradrenaline vanishes, preventing encoding. Acetylcholine surges, creating experiences without consolidation. The prefrontal cortex sleeps, removing voluntary memory control. The hippocampus disconnects, stopping information transfer. Theta waves filter dreams out of consolidation. Temperature drops, slowing molecular processes. And all of this happens by design, not by accident. Evolution shaped this system over millions of years. The forgetting isn't a side effect, it's the main effect. Your brain has invested enormous resources into ensuring that dreams stay dreams, never crossing the boundary into remembered reality. The question becomes, why does your brain care so much about not remembering "you're still here with me"? thoughts still flickering like candlelight. Just notice. Don't judge. Just notice where your mind is. Take a gentle breath. Feel the weight of your body on the bed, grounded like ancient stone. We're exploring consciousness itself, the very thing doing the exploring right now. Strange, beautiful, and perfectly calm. Let's drift onward together. Dream forgetting may have evolved to protect your sense of reality. Imagine our ancestors, who needed to distinguish clearly between actual dangers they encountered and imaginary threats their sleeping minds invented. If dream memories persisted with the same vividness as waking memories, this distinction would blur. A man who dreamed of being chased by a predator might confuse that dream with an actual encounter, leading to inappropriate fear responses or wasted energy fleeing from threats that never existed. By ensuring dreams fade quickly, evolution helped humans maintain a clear boundary between imagination and experience. This boundary is crucial for making good decisions. You need to respond to real threats, not phantom dangers conjured by your sleeping mind. Dreams allow your brain to explore dangerous scenarios without consequence. During REM sleep, your motor cortex is actively inhibited, a phenomenon called REM atonia that prevents you from physically acting out your dreams. This creates a safe playground where your mind can practice responses to threats, social challenges, or novel situations without risking actual harm. If you remembered all these practice scenarios as if they were real events, you'd accumulate false knowledge about the world. You'd remember falling from heights that never happened, recall conversations that never occurred, and carry false lessons from experiences you never had. Forgetting dreams preserves the accuracy of your knowledge base. REM sleep serves multiple functions beyond dreaming. It's crucial for emotional regulation, helping process difficult feelings from the previous day in a safe, offline state. It's involved in creativity, forming novel associations between distantly related concepts. It contributes to memory consolidation, particularly for emotional and procedural memories. All of these functions work better when they're not creating permanent records. Your brain needs to experiment, combine things randomly, and explore emotional landscapes without the burden of remembering every step of the process. Dream amnesia liberates REM sleep to do its work without cluttering your memory systems with the messy details of how that work gets done. Lucid dreaming research provides fascinating insights into dream forgetting. Lucid dreamers, people who become consciously aware they're dreaming while still asleep, often report better dream recall than non-lucid dreamers. A 2024 study found that the moment of becoming lucid in a dream temporarily increases prefrontal cortex activity and slightly elevates noradrenaline levels, without fully waking the dreamer. This brief chemical shift may allow some memory encoding to occur. Lucid dreamers can also deliberately focus on remembering their dreams, using the restored prefrontal function to rehearse dream content. This suggests that the memory mechanisms aren't completely broken during REM sleep. They're just switched off and can be partially reactivated under the right conditions. The practice of lucid dreaming training has been shown to improve overall dream recall. People who train themselves to recognize when they're dreaming typically remember more dreams, even non-lucid ones. This improvement likely comes from increased metacognitive awareness, the habit of thinking about your own thoughts and experiences. By regularly questioning whether you're awake or asleep, lucid dreamers create mental habits that extend into sleep itself. They might not always achieve full lucidity, but they develop a background awareness that slightly activates memory systems during REM sleep. Studies show that after several weeks of lucid dreaming practice, participants can recall up to 3 times more dreams per week than they did before training. Even though they're not having more dreams, nightmare disorder reveals what happens when dream memories persist too strongly. People with this condition have frequent disturbing dreams that they remember in vivid detail, and these memories interfere with daily functioning. The emotional intensity of nightmares sometimes overrides the normal amnesia mechanisms, burning the experiences into memory through the sheer force of fear or distress. This causes real problems. The line between dream and reality blurs. Sleep becomes something to dread rather than embrace, and waking life carries the emotional residue of fictional terrors. Nightmare disorder demonstrates that dream amnesia isn't just neutral, it's protective. Without it, the dark theater of your sleeping mind could haunt your waking hours. Children remember dreams more frequently than adults, which may reflect the fact that their brains are still learning to distinguish fantasy from reality. Young children often struggle to separate imagination from experience. They might genuinely believe the monster they dreamed about is real. As the brain matures, the mechanisms that create the dream-reality boundary become more efficient. By adulthood, most people have such strong amnesia for dreams that they rarely question whether a memory came from sleep or waking life. This developmental trajectory suggests that evolution fine-tunes dream forgetting as individuals mature, strengthening the boundary when it becomes most necessary for navigating a complex social world. Dreams might help your brain practice forgetting. One theory suggests that REM sleep serves partly as a rehearsal for the process of letting memories go. Your brain can't keep everything. It would overflow with trivial details and outdated information. Dreams may represent a safe environment where your mind can practice discarding information, strengthening the neural mechanisms that prune away unnecessary memories. By creating elaborate experiences and then letting them vanish, your brain maintains the cognitive flexibility needed to forget appropriately during waking life. The amnesia serves double duty, protecting reality boundaries while also training the forgetting systems you need to function without being overwhelmed by memory. The content of dreams often draws from recent experiences, a phenomenon called day residue. Fragments from your previous day, people you saw, places you visited, problems you encountered, appear in dreams, sometimes disguised or recombined. But crucially, you don't remember the dreams about these fragments. This allows your brain to process daily experiences without creating redundant memories. You already have memories of the actual events from your day. You don't need to also remember dreaming about them. The forgetting prevents a confusing duplication where you'd carry both the real memory and the dream-distorted version, potentially confusing which was which. By erasing dream memories, your brain keeps your autobiographical record clean and accurate. Halfway through our journey, the answer is becoming clearer. Dreams disappear, not despite evolution, but because of it. The forgetting serves critical functions, maintaining reality boundaries, preserving knowledge accuracy, enabling emotional processing without record keeping, and training your brain's capacity to let go of unnecessary information. The systems that erase dreams are as sophisticated as the systems that create memories in the first place. Multiple layers of protection, chemical, structural, and functional, ensure that dreams stay ephemeral. Your brain works harder to make you forget dreams than it does to help you remember them. This isn't failure. It's one of evolution's most elegant solutions to the challenge of consciousness during sleep. And now, halfway through this journey into forgetting, let's pause to notice what remains. Let's pause here in the middle of our journey. Notice how your breath has changed. Slower now. Deeper. You've been resting for a while, and perhaps thoughts from the day have begun to settle. All those things you did, all those words you spoke, they're fading now into memory's soft storage. Tomorrow, they'll still be there, filed away neatly. But tonight, the day's end gives you permission to stop reviewing, stop replaying, stop analyzing. Imagine time itself slowing down, stretching out. The past behind you, the future ahead, and this moment, this single, eternal moment, belonging only to rest. You don't need to hold anything. You don't need to solve anything. Just breathe. Just be. Just let the minutes drift like clouds across a twilight sky. We're almost there now. Let's continue the journey. Some people naturally remember dreams every single morning. These frequent recallers show measurable differences in brain activity even during waking hours. A French study using fMRI found that high dream recallers have increased spontaneous activity in the temporoparietal junction, a region involved in attention reorienting. This means their brains are slightly more reactive to stimuli, including internal stimuli like dreams. They wake briefly during or after REM periods more often than low recallers, creating more opportunities for dreams to transfer into waking memory. It's not that they dream more, it's that they wake more. And those micro-awakenings open tiny windows where dream content can slip into lasting memory before fading. Sleep quality affects dream recall, independent of sleep quantity. You might sleep 8 hours, but remember, no dreams. While someone sleeping 6 restless hours recalls 3. Fragmented sleep with frequent arousals creates more opportunities for dream recall because you're more likely to wake during or immediately after REM periods. However, this fragmentation comes at a cost. Poor sleep consolidation overall. There's a trade-off. The conditions that help you remember dreams are often the same conditions that make sleep less restorative. Deep, uninterrupted sleep serves your body better, but it erases dreams more completely. Quality sleep and dream memory rarely coexist. Certain medications dramatically alter dream recall. SSRIs, commonly prescribed antidepressants, suppress REM sleep and often reduce dreaming or dream recall. Beta blockers, used for high blood pressure, can cause vivid nightmares by affecting noradrenaline systems. Melatonin supplements sometimes increase dream vividness and recall, possibly by affecting the timing and intensity of REM periods. Substances that affect neurotransmitter levels, whether medications or recreational drugs, can disrupt the carefully balanced chemistry that normally ensures dream amnesia. When you change brain chemistry, you inevitably change how memory systems function during sleep. The line between waking and sleeping consciousness becomes more permeable or more rigid, depending on which chemicals you adjust. Alcohol initially suppresses REM sleep, which means fewer and shorter dreams in the first half of the night. However, as alcohol metabolizes, there's often a REM rebound effect, where your brain tries to catch up on lost REM time by having longer, more intense REM periods. These rebound dreams tend to be vivid and sometimes disturbing. and because they occur during lighter sleep in early morning, you're more likely to remember them. The dream recall after drinking isn't due to more dreams. It's due to the distorted sleep architecture, placing intense dreams at a time when your brain is transitioning toward waking. Sleep deprivation creates a hunger for REM sleep that your brain eventually must satisfy. When you're chronically sleep deprived, your body prioritizes deep sleep initially when you finally rest. But then it compensates with unusually intense and prolonged REM periods. These pressure cooker REM episodes produce extremely vivid dreams that sometimes break through the amnesia barrier simply through their intensity. Sleep-deprived individuals often report bizarre, emotionally charged dreams that they remember clearly. The memory isn't better because the encoding systems are working well. It's better because the dreams are so intense that they overwhelm the forgetting mechanisms designed to erase them. Temperature fluctuations during sleep influence dream memory. Your core body temperature naturally drops during the night and rises before waking. If something disrupts this pattern, like sleeping in a too warm room or experiencing night sweats, you're more likely to wake briefly during REM periods, creating opportunities for dream recall. Conversely, sleeping in a cooler environment may deepen sleep and reduce awakenings, leading to better sleep quality but poorer dream recall. The relationship between temperature and memory is complex and indirect, mediated through effects on sleep depth and awakening frequency. Your physical comfort during the night shapes not just how well you sleep, but also what you remember of your sleep's strange theaters. Your sleep position might subtly affect dream content and recall. Studies show that people who sleep on their left side report slightly more nightmares than those who sleep on their right side, possibly due to increased heart rate variability in that position. Stomach sleepers sometimes report more vivid, sometimes sexual or claustrophobic dreams, perhaps because breathing is more labored. These positional effects are small and inconsistent across individuals, but they suggest that even basic physical factors influence the dreaming brain. Your body's orientation in space, the pressure on different organs, and the ease of breathing all feed sensory information into sleeping consciousness, subtly coloring dreams. Diet can influence dream vividness and recall, though the effects are modest. Foods rich in vitamin B6, like fish and chickpeas, may enhance dream intensity. One study found that B6 supplementation before bed increased dream vividness and recall. The mechanism isn't fully understood, but may involve B6's role in neurotransmitter synthesis. Eating very late can increase metabolism during sleep, potentially causing more frequent awakenings and thus more dream recall. However, late eating also disrupts sleep quality. The ideal for health: not eating close to bedtime, conflicts with what might maximize dream recall. Once again, better dreams and better sleep pull in opposite directions. Stress and anxiety create a peculiar double effect on dream recall. Acute stress often improves recall because stress hormones promote arousal and brief awakenings during sleep. Anxious people tend to be lighter sleepers with more frequent nighttime awakenings, creating more windows for dream memory formation. However, chronic stress impairs memory systems overall, including dream memory. Additionally, stress-related dreams are often fragmented and less narrative, making them harder to remember even when memory systems are functioning. The relationship is U-shaped. Moderate arousal improves recall, but both very low arousal, deep, peaceful sleep, and very high arousal, severe anxiety, disrupting sleep, reduced dream memory. Meditation practice can enhance dream recall, possibly by increasing metacognitive awareness, your ability to monitor your own mental states. Regular meditators develop the habit of observing thoughts and sensations without judgment, a skill that may persist into sleep. They might notice dreams more consistently or wake more mindfully, preserving dream content that would otherwise vanish. Some meditation traditions actively cultivate dream awareness through practices like dream yoga. These techniques don't necessarily create more dreams, but they do create more awareness around the sleep-wake transition, that critical moment when dreams can either slip into memory or dissolve into forgotten sensation. Mindfulness extends backward into the night. Women typically report higher dream recall than men, a difference that appears across cultures and age groups. The reasons remain debated. Some research points to differences in sleep architecture. Women often have more REM sleep and lighter sleep overall. Hormonal differences might play a role. As studies show, dream recall fluctuates across the menstrual cycle. Social and psychological factors matter too. Women may pay more attention to dreams or feel more comfortable discussing them. The gender difference in recall doesn't necessarily mean gender differences in dreaming frequency or content, only in what crosses the threshold from sleeping experience to waking memory. Pregnancy often increases dream vividness and recall dramatically. Pregnant women consistently report more frequent, vivid, and emotionally intense dreams, especially in the third trimester. Multiple factors contribute: disrupted sleep from physical discomfort, hormonal changes affecting neurotransmitter systems, and increased arousals during the night from bladder pressure or fetal movement. Additionally, the psychological intensity of pregnancy, anticipation, anxiety, identity transformation may bleed into dream content and make dreams more memorable. The evolutionary interpretation is fascinating. Perhaps enhanced dream recall during pregnancy helped ancestral mothers process the enormous psychological and physical changes they were undergoing, integrating the transition into a new identity through nighttime emotional processing. Sleep disorders like sleep apnea reduce dream recall significantly. When breathing repeatedly stops during sleep, it causes constant mini-awakenings that fragment sleep architecture. While fragmentation usually increases dream recall, apnea does the opposite because the oxygen deprivation and constant arousal prevent deep REM sleep from developing properly. People with untreated sleep apnea often report never dreaming, though sleep studies prove they enter REM periods. They're just brief, shallow, and constantly interrupted. When apnea is treated with CPAP machines, dream recall often returns dramatically within weeks, sometimes catching patients off guard with suddenly vivid nighttime experiences they'd forgotten were normal. Oxygen shapes consciousness, sleeping and waking. Some antidepressants, particularly SSRIs and SNRIs, powerfully suppress REM sleep and dream recall. People on these medications often report either no dream recall or that their dreams feel flat and emotionally muted. This happens because these drugs affect the serotonin and noradrenaline systems that regulate REM sleep and emotional processing. Interestingly, when people discontinue these medications, they often experience a REM rebound with extremely vivid, sometimes disturbing dreams, a phenomenon called withdrawal dreams. The brain rushes to catch up on the REM sleep it's been deprived of, creating intense dream experiences that break through amnesia barriers through sheer emotional force. Recurring dreams are remembered more often than one-time dreams, likely because repetition itself aids memory. When you dream the same scenario, location, or narrative multiple times, you're essentially rehearsing dream content, strengthening the neural patterns associated with it. Your brain may also flag recurring dreams as important because the repetition suggests unresolved emotional content. Some researchers believe recurring dreams represent the mind's attempt to process difficult emotions or experiences that haven't been fully integrated into memory. The dreams repeat because the processing isn't complete, and they're remembered because the repetition itself creates stronger memory traces. In this case, memory serves meaning rather than documentation. The time you wake up affects which dreams you remember. Dreams from the final REM period before waking have by far the highest recall rate. Approximately 60 to 70% recall if you wake naturally at the end of this period. Dreams from earlier in the night have progressively lower recall rates, dropping to less than 10% for first-cycle REM dreams. This gradient exists because proximity matters the closer a dream is to the waking state, both in time and in the neurochemical transition happening. The better chance it has of transferring into lasting memory before the amnesia mechanisms complete their work. External sensory stimuli can be incorporated into dreams, sometimes affecting recall. The classic example is alarm clocks being woven into dream narratives before finally waking you. When external sounds, lights, or touches infiltrate dreams, they create a connection between dream content and waking experience that can aid recall. You might not remember the full dream, but you remember the moment the stimulus appeared and the context around it. This suggests that dreams exist on a spectrum between completely internal generation and partial openness to outside input. The boundary between sleeping consciousness and the outside world is thinner than we often assume. Blind individuals dream differently depending on when they lost sight. Those blind from birth dream without visual imagery, relying instead on sound, touch, smell, and emotional sensation. Those who became blind after age 5 or 6 typically retain visual dreaming similar to sighted people. Interestingly, blind individuals' dream recall rates are similar to sighted people's. Despite the absence of visual content, this demonstrates that dream memory doesn't depend primarily on visual encoding. It depends on the same neurochemical and structural factors that affect everyone. Memory systems treat sound-based dreams and vision-based dreams equally. The content changes, but the forgetting mechanisms remain constant across all humans. Cultures vary in how much attention they pay to dreams, which affects recall rates. In societies where dreams are considered spiritually significant or psychologically important, people report higher recall frequencies. This isn't because they dream more. It's because cultural emphasis on dreams creates stronger intentions to remember them. When you believe dreams matter, you pay attention at the moment of waking. You discuss dreams with others, and you reflect on their meaning. This cultural attention creates the metacognitive habits that improve recall. Conversely, in cultures that dismiss dreams as meaningless, people put no effort into remembering them, and recall rates drop accordingly. Belief shapes biology. Dream content itself affects memorability. Dreams with clear narratives are easier to remember than fragmentary. Chaotic dreams. Dreams that connect emotionally to your waking life. Reflecting real concerns, relationships, or desires. Stick better than completely random content. Sexual dreams have higher recall rates, possibly because of their emotional intensity and biological relevance. Dreams that violate expectations dramatically. Flying, breathing underwater, meeting the dead, are sometimes better remembered specifically because of their impossibility. The strangeness creates what psychologists call distinctiveness, making the experience stand out from the background noise of normal dream content. Memorable dreams are usually either personally meaningful or impossible. The practice of dream interpretation, whether through therapy or personal reflection, can increase dream recall over time. When you regularly analyze dreams, searching for symbols or meaning, you train your brain to prioritize dream memory. Psychoanalytic therapy that focuses on dreams has been shown to increase recall frequency after just a few weeks. The mechanism is likely similar to lucid dreaming training. You create metacognitive habits that extend into sleep. Your brain learns that dreams are worth paying attention to, and this attitude slightly modifies the memory systems that normally discard dream content. Meaning making reinforces memory. What we value, we remember. Sleep talking and sleepwalking occur during non-REM sleep, not REM sleep, when most vivid dreams happen. This distinction is important for understanding memory. People who talk or walk in their sleep rarely remember doing so, because these behaviors occur during deep sleep stages when memory encoding is minimal. The actions happen automatically, without conscious awareness or memory formation. This contrasts with REM sleep behavior disorder, where the normal paralysis of REM sleep fails and people act out dreams. Those with RBD often do remember their dreams because they occur during REM when some memory encoding is possible. The type of sleep determines what, if anything, survives into waking memory. Researchers have used fMRI machines to decode rough visual patterns in sleeping brains, creating primitive reconstructions of dream imagery. While still in early stages, this technology demonstrates that dream content creates measurable neural patterns that might one day be partially recorded. This raises fascinating questions. Would we want permanent records of all dreams? Would it help or harm mental health? Technology may soon force us to reconsider whether dream forgetting is a problem to solve or a feature to preserve. The boundary between private experience and recorded data continues to shift in ways our ancestors never imagined. Personal significance determines which dreams, if any, break through the amnesia barrier. You're far more likely to remember a dream about your own wedding, your child, or a deeply feared scenario than a random, emotionally neutral dream about everyday activities. This selective memory makes evolutionary sense if dream amnesia serves to prevent confusion between real and imagined experiences. The exceptions should be experiences that carry strong emotional weight. Even though the brain usually erases dreams to protect reality boundaries, it makes exceptions for content that might actually be emotionally important to process and integrate. The amnesia is strong but not absolute, creating a filter that lets through whatever matters most. So we now understand that dream recall varies enormously between individuals and circumstances, shaped by genetics, sleep quality, medications, life stage, culture, and personal attention. Some people exist at one end of the spectrum, remembering vivid dreams daily. Others exist at the opposite end, convinced they never dream at all. Most fall somewhere in the middle, occasionally catching glimpses of the night's theater before it fades. None of these patterns represent better or worse sleep. They simply reflect different configurations of the same basic system, a brain that creates rich experiences during sleep, while simultaneously ensuring those experiences vanish, like breath on a cold morning. You might be feeling tired now. That's perfectly fine. Breathe slowly. Feel the cycles. Your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A small cycle within the vast universe. Everything moves in circles. Thoughts come and go. Memories form and fade. Even now, as you listen, some of these facts are already slipping away. And that's not failure. That's how memory works. That's how the mind protects itself from being overwhelmed. You don't need to hold on to everything. You don't need to remember it all. Some things are meant to be experienced and released. Like dreams. Like this moment right now. Feel your body sinking deeper. Let the weight of remembering lift away. Trust that what matters will stay, and what doesn't matter will gently fade. We're almost there now. Just a little further. If you want to remember more dreams, keep a journal beside your bed. The moment you wake, before moving or opening your eyes fully, write down everything you recall, even fragments, even just emotions. This captures dreams during the brief window before consciousness erases them. Over time, journal keeping trains your brain to prioritize dream memory. You're telling your sleeping mind, this matters, and gradually it responds. Setting an intention before sleep can improve dream recall. Tell yourself, I will remember my dreams tonight. This simple practice, called dream incubation, has been shown to increase recall by up to 30%. The mechanism likely works through expectation and attention. By priming yourself to notice dreams, you create a slight shift in metacognitive awareness that persists into sleep. The intention doesn't change brain chemistry, but it changes what you pay attention to. Waking naturally, without alarms, reduces dream recall but improves sleep quality. This creates a choice. The jarring disruption of alarms preserves dreams, but fragments rest. While gentle, natural awakening erases dreams but deepens restoration. Most sleep researchers recommend prioritizing sleep quality over dream recall, suggesting that the benefits of deeper, less disrupted sleep outweigh the interest in remembering dreams. The forgetting serves you. Some people don't want to remember their dreams, and that's entirely valid. Dreams can be disturbing, confusing, or emotionally draining. Not everyone finds meaning in dream analysis. The assumption that remembering dreams is inherently good isn't supported by evidence. For people with trauma histories, nightmares, or anxiety disorders, dream amnesia might be profoundly protective. There's no imperative to remember dreams. The natural amnesia your brain provides is a gift, not a deficit. Dreams may help you process emotions without creating permanent memories of the processing. During REM sleep, your brain reactivates emotional memories from waking life, but in a context where noradrenaline is absent. This allows you to experience and work through difficult emotions without the stress response. The forgetting ensures you don't carry detailed memories of every emotional experiment your sleeping brain conducts. You wake refreshed, emotions processed, without remembering the night's therapeutic work. The philosophical question, why do we dream, remains partially unanswered. Despite decades of research, scientists still debate dreaming's primary function. Is it memory consolidation, emotional regulation, threat simulation? Most likely, dreams serve multiple purposes simultaneously. The uncertainty reminds us that consciousness, even sleeping consciousness, remains mysterious. We understand many mechanisms, but the subjective experience of dreaming still eludes complete scientific explanation. Mystery persists. Dream content often reflects waking concerns, but in disguised forms. Modern research confirms that dreams incorporate elements from waking life, though not necessarily in heavily symbolic ways. Your brain continues processing whatever occupied your waking attention, but without logical constraints. The forgetting prevents you from confusing these processed but distorted concerns with actual memories. You might dream about an upcoming presentation as fighting a monster, and forgetting ensures you don't wake up remembering a monster attack. Some medications can be prescribed specifically to reduce nightmares. Prazosin, originally a blood pressure medication, is now commonly used to treat nightmare disorder, particularly in people with PTSD. It works by blocking noradrenaline receptors, reducing emotional intensity in dreams. This intervention highlights an interesting point. Sometimes the goal isn't to remember dreams better, but to make them less memorable, less intense, less intrusive. Dream management goes both directions. The boundary between dreaming and waking consciousness isn't always clear. Hypnagogic hallucinations occur during the transition into sleep, while hypnopompic hallucinations occur during awakening. These experiences blur the line between sleep and wake. Similarly, daydreaming shares neurological features with night dreams. The distinction between imagining, dreaming, and remembering is less sharp than we usually assume. All exist on a spectrum of consciousness. Children's nightmares serve a developmental purpose. Young children are learning to distinguish fantasy from reality. And nightmares might help establish that boundary by presenting impossible scenarios in a clearly unreal context. The intense emotions make nightmares memorable, allowing children to discuss them with caregivers who help clarify what's real versus imagined. As children mature and this boundary strengthens, nightmare frequency decreases and dream amnesia becomes more efficient. Development mirrors the learning of consciousness itself. Lucid dreaming, becoming aware you're dreaming while still asleep, represents a fascinating middle state. Lucid dreamers can sometimes control dream content while experiencing it. This requires delicate balance, enough prefrontal cortex activation to achieve self-awareness, but not so much that you wake up. Research shows experienced lucid dreamers can use this state therapeutically, confronting fears or practicing skills. They can even communicate from inside dreams using prearranged eye movements. Some cultures practice dream sharing as community ritual, telling dreams to family each morning. This social reinforcement dramatically increases recall because it creates daily practice and cultural validation. In Western societies, dreams are typically private, rarely discussed, which contributes to lower recall rates. The social dimension matters when we know we'll be asked about dreams. We pay attention. Community practices shape individual cognitive patterns. Dream content may provide insights into mental health. Recurrent nightmares often accompany depression and anxiety disorders. Dreams in depression tend to be more negative in emotional tone. People with schizophrenia sometimes have difficulty distinguishing dreams from waking reality, while dream content alone can't diagnose mental illness. Patterns of dreaming can reflect underlying psychological states. Despite their ephemeral nature, dreams matter as signals about emotional and cognitive health. Technology like smartwatches can now track sleep stages, helping people understand their personal sleep architecture and dream patterns. These devices measure movement and heart rate to infer when you're in REM sleep. Some apps prompt you to record dreams immediately upon waking. While imperfect, these tools democratize sleep science, letting individuals explore their own patterns. The data reveals personal rhythms and empowers people to optimize sleep. So could dream forgetting actually be changed? It already has been. Through training, medication, and sleep disruption. But should it be? Most evidence suggests that natural dream amnesia serves important functions. While remembering occasional dreams might be interesting, dramatically increasing recall could have unintended consequences. The evolutionary system that erases dreams does so for good reasons. Perhaps the better question isn't how to remember more, but why we're curious. The act of telling a dream changes the memory of it significantly. Each retelling reconstructs the dream slightly differently, often making it more coherent than it originally was. Your waking mind imposes structure, fills gaps, and adds interpretations. This is why dream journals are more accurate than verbal recountings. Writing immediately upon waking captures the dream before reconstruction distorts it. Eventually, what you remember is not the dream itself, but your story about it. Dream content can be influenced before sleep through dream incubation techniques. Ancient peoples used these deliberately, seeking guidance through dreams by focusing on specific questions before sleeping. Modern research confirms that thinking about particular topics, viewing certain images, or setting intentions can influence dream content to some degree. However, the dreaming mind remains unpredictable. You can nudge it toward themes, but you can't control it completely. The forgetting of dreams parallels the forgetting of other transitional states. You probably can't remember being born, learning to walk, or many early childhood experiences. Similarly, you forget most of each day's moments, even while awake. Memory is selective everywhere, not just in dreams. Dreams highlight this selectivity because the forgetting is nearly complete. But they're just an extreme version of constant filtering. Some researchers believe dreams may occasionally provide genuine insights or creative solutions. Famous examples include the structure of benzene discovered in a dream, Paul McCartney composing Yesterday upon waking. While most dreams are forgotten and meaningless, occasional dreams might facilitate genuine breakthroughs by forming unusual associations. The challenge is distinguishing meaningful dreams from noise. Even if only one dream in 1,000 contains useful insight, the forgetting of the other 999 remains functional. The experience of déjà vu might relate to dream memory. Some researchers theorize that déjà vu, the feeling you've experienced something before despite knowing you haven't, could sometimes result from fragments of forgotten dreams surfacing during waking life. You might have dreamed about a place or situation, completely forgotten the dream, but then experience vague familiarity when encountering something similar while awake. This remains speculative, but highlights how dreams might influence waking experience subtly. Ultimately, Dream forgetting reveals something profound about consciousness itself. Memory is not recording. It's reconstruction. Dreams exist in pure experience, unencoded, and when they vanish, they reveal the gap between experience and memory. Most moments of your life, waking or sleeping, disappear without record. You live through them fully. Then they're gone. Only a tiny fraction gets saved. Dreams make this obvious. Perhaps dreams aren't meant to be remembered. Perhaps they serve their purpose in the experiencing, not in the recollecting. Like music listened to and released, like breath inhaled and exhaled, dreams might belong entirely to the moment of their occurrence. Their value isn't in persistence, but in the experiencing itself, the emotional processing, the random associations, the safe exploration. If this is true, then trying to remember dreams misses the point. The forgetting isn't a problem, but a feature. The mystery of dream forgetting connects to larger questions about consciousness and self. What does it mean to have experiences you immediately forget? Are you still the same person who had those dreams? Where do dreams go? Do they cease to exist? Or do they persist somewhere below conscious access? These questions touch on the deepest puzzles of neuroscience and philosophy: what consciousness is, what memory means, what it means to be a self. Every night, you live multiple lives in dreams. You inhabit other bodies, other places, other times. You love and fear and fly and fall. You experience complete narratives with beginnings, middles, and ends. And then, nearly always, you forget everything. This nightly cycle of rich experience followed by total amnesia is one of the strangest features of human existence. 24 years of life, lived and lost. So why do you forget dreams immediately? Because your brain deliberately erases them through multiple biological mechanisms. Absent noradrenaline, reduced hippocampal activity, disconnected prefrontal cortex, and the neurochemical reset of awakening. Because evolution designed this system to protect your sense of reality, enable emotional processing without permanent records, and prevent cognitive overload. Because some experiences are meant to be lived rather than remembered. The forgetting isn't failure, it's function. Preserving the coherence of the self you carry into each new day. And so, our quiet journey through the mystery of disappearing dreams comes to a gentle close. We've traveled from the moment your eyes open and memories dissolve, to the chemistry of noradrenaline's absence, to the evolutionary wisdom in selective forgetting, from vivid REM theaters to the amnesia barrier of awakening. We've glimpsed how dreams are both profoundly real in their moment and deliberately erased by morning. Dream forgetting reminds us that not everything needs to be remembered to have value. Much of life's richness happens in the experiencing, not the recollecting. Like dreams, moments flow through consciousness and disappear, yet they shape us in ways we'll never fully know. The brain's wisdom lies not just in what it saves, but in what it gracefully lets go. In these final minutes, take the deepest breath you can, as deep as possible. Think about consciousness itself, yours, mine, everyone listening, all awareness, everywhere, perhaps all connected in ways we don't yet understand. You are not alone in the universe of minds. Every night, billions of people dream and forget, in the same beautiful cycle. We share this. the nightly journey into strange territories, and the morning return with only fragments and feelings. Let your entire being dissolve into the ocean of consciousness, into dreamless rest, into the space before thought. Prepare for deep sleep. No boundaries left, only peace. If this thoughtful exploration of the mind helped you relax tonight, a gentle like and subscribe could help another tired soul discover this peaceful space too. It only takes a moment, but it means the world to us. One quiet tap, one sleepy soul at a time. But there's no need to do anything now. Nothing at all. You've traveled far tonight, farther than most journeys take you. You can allow these thoughts of memory and dreams to fade now, like morning mist dissolving in sunlight, leaving only the peaceful calm behind. Let your breathing deepen. Let your body feel heavier, as if gravity itself is gently pulling you down into the mattress, into the earth below, into rest. Notice the texture of your pillow against your cheek, the gentle weight of blankets across your body. If sleep comes, let it carry you like a slow river, smoothly, inevitably, into a realm where time and weight no longer matter. If your eyes are still open, the next video is waiting for you, ready to continue the journey. But if they're closed, stay there. Stay in the darkness that feels safe and warm. Tomorrow, your dreams will still be waiting. They'll create new theaters, new stories, new impossible worlds for you to wander through. But tonight belongs to stillness. Rest well, sleepy soul, and remember, the dreams you forget are just as important as the ones you keep. They've already done their work in the darkness while you weren't watching. Fall asleep to gentle facts. Dream deeper with bedtime science. Relax, listen, and drift into sleep. Good night.